Welcome back to the GSMC Golf Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. We're back with our second segment of the night. Just got done talking about Davis Thompson winning for the first time on tour. And now we're talking rest of the leaderboard and superlatives here on the GSMC Golf Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Once again, guys, if you want to help support the GSMC Sports Network, more ways than you guys already do just by tuning in and supporting me, you could use the gsmcpodcast.net tips and donations link to help support out all the creators here at the GSMC Sports Network. You could also ask me a question. It'll show up across the screen and help me be more connected with the audience. So with that being said, we're going to get into our second segment of the night, rest of the leaderboard and superlatives. Davis Thompson winning for the first time on tour is so fun, right? And I enjoyed that a lot. However, and take nothing away from Davis Thompson, but let me tell you, I was definitely rooting for Michael Thorbjornsen or Luke Clanton. I understood that it was a long shot, but these two guys on a Sunday, both of their first Sundays of their tour careers being in contention, shoot 8 under, both of them. I mean, that's so impressive. Both of them going out with a 63. Michael Thorbjornsen only playing in 4 official, or this is his 4th official event, I believe, without being an amateur on tour in his career. He's already 121st in FedEx Cup standings. This guy, if he goes out there and plays well at the ISCO championship this weekend, and he definitely could, we could be talking about him potentially making the FedEx Cup playoffs, and that would be so surprising. This guy is playing some fantastic golf, and I just love watching him. He makes a lot of cuts, and he plays well in the weekends. So he finishes tied second with Luke Clanton, who's an amateur 20-year-old golfer from Georgia. He is unable to collect his winnings for second. I believe it was somewhere around $700,000, and he doesn't get it because he's an amateur. A lot of people are debating that rule. Maybe that's a conversation for a later date. I don't hate it. I don't know if I'm too against it, but yeah, Luke Clanton unable to collect his winnings because he is an amateur. CT Pan also finished tied second. He was 24 under as well. 4 really good rounds for CT Pan. The worst round was a 68. And that was on a Saturday. He was in contention for the lead going into the going into the weekend, but unable to really make something happen on moving day. Ben Griffin finished tied 5th. Carson Young, Denny McCarthy, Andrew Novak. In a weaker field, we do see a lot of fun names towards the top. Hayden Springer off of his sub-60 round. We had one last weekend, and now we're having another one this weekend. Crazy stuff. This is the 14th ever sub or 15th ever sub 60 round in tour history, so congratulations to Hayden Springer for that. But other notable names, Aaron Rai kind of did fall off on Sunday. Going into Sunday was one of the leaders, but a 69, only 2 under in the round, unable to get it done. Sungjae Im, 15th in the FedEx Cup standings. This guy just plays every single tournament. However, finished tied 12, unable to get another win. Other notable names, Jason Day, former number 1 golfer in the world, 16 under, tied 23rd. 4 consistent days, not one day where he really went out and won the day, and that's kind of what led him to being at tied 23rd. Zach Johnson, former Ryder Cup captain. We'll be talking plenty about him later. Stay tuned for that. That will be the next segment. Finished tied 26th. He finished tied with Jordan Spieth, Max Grazerman, JT Poston, some big guys, some big names on tour, especially Jordan Spieth, who only climbs. I think he actually fell one in the FedEx Cup standings to 60 from 59th. That is very disappointing to say the least. This was an opportunity for him to get into the top 50 for the BMW Championship, which, I mean, I'm pretty confident he wanted to be, but unable to do so. Unfortunate for him. So not too many more big names. Adrian Dumont finished 10 under T46. Joel Damon finished tied for 46th. Some of the younger guys in this field finish a little bit down there, like Thorbjornsen, Olesen tied 61st. I know Neil Shipley missed the cut. Jackson Buchanan, another amateur, missed the cut. Matt Kuchar missed the cut. Adam Schenk missed the cut. And Maverick McNeely, I think, is the only other really big name that did miss the cut for this event here. Davis Riley, a former runner, also did. So that's the rest of the leaderboard. A lot of big names that didn't finish towards the top, like Seb Straka, Jordan Spieth, Sungjae Im, but it was still a very fun tournament nonetheless. With that being said, I am so excited to have Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Ludwig Oberg, Victor Hovland back in the field. I like an event like this every once in a while, but when it's the Rocket Mortgage and the John Deere Classic in back-to-back weeks, it could get a little rough. And I enjoyed the golf, but I do want to see the bigger names back in the field, and I'm excited for next weekend. But for the superlatives, the best driver from the weekend, I said hands down goes to Max Grazerman. First in strokes gained off the tee, first in total driving. He was third in distance and fourth in accuracy. The only person in the top 5 of both of those things in a while. I think the last time I saw somebody in the top 5 of both of those categories was Rory McIlroy at the Wells Fargo when he won it, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think that's the last time I saw somebody in the top 5 of both of those. He was also around an 80% in fairways hit, which is about 15% above tour average. So impressive what this guy was able to do with the driver. He gets the best driver from the weekend. Best irons goes to Keith Mitchell. First in strokes gained on approach, first in greens in regulation at 86% of greens in regulation. He finished 8th in proximity to hole, so he went out there and absolutely played some aggressive golf, and it paid dividends as he hit a lot of greens. Best wedges went to Davis Thompson. This is his first of 2 superlatives that he's going to win. For me, Davis Thompson, of course, the winner. So usually if you win a tournament, you do something very good in a couple of aspects of golf. For him, it was wedges. First proximity to hole, 5th in scrambling at 84.62%. That's about 25% above tour average that sits about 60. He was also 4th in strokes gained around the green. Best putter goes to Davis Thompson as well. He was first in putt average, so not 3-putting a lot, not 2-putting a lot. He was able to get up and down a good amount, talking about 5th in scrambling and first in putt average. That means you are getting up and down a lot of these holes. 5th in strokes gained putting at 1.860 strokes gained with the putter. That's some very impressive putting. He does get the best putter superlative for it. Lo siento. Most surprising is Luke Clanton, amateur, 20 years old, coming kind of out of nowhere, finishes 24 under in a PGA Tour event. Are you kidding me? 24 under is a crazy score for a 20-year-old. He is the most surprising. As you can tell, I'm pretty surprised about this, but it was so fun to watch. I mean, him and Michael Thorbjornsen might be a rivalry for the future. Hopefully Luke Clanton can go ahead and win one of these events so that he doesn't need to be an amateur anymore and he can get his tour card. Most disappointing for me, Jordan Spieth, Seb Straka. Jordan Spieth, T26, Seb Straka, T61. A lot of guys had Jordan Spieth, not me, to win this tournament. I'm not going to have Jordan Spieth win a single tournament until this guy actually proves that he's good at golf. Again, he's injured. We've talked about this entire year. He has a wrist injury that has been plaguing him this entire season. But it's still it's still been very disappointing for me, for you guys, for anybody that's a Jordan Spieth fan watching this guy. You expect fireworks, lightning in a bottle every time we watch him play golf, and he's still young in relation to, a lot of the people he's going up against, at least. He just doesn't show it too often, and I wish he did. I want to see prime Jordan Spieth again. Is that too much to ask? Maybe it is. But that'll wrap it up for the superlatives. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anybody I missed, anything that I got wrong. Is there somebody that you were more disappointed in than Jordan Spieth or Seb Straka? I was also personally disappointed in Neil Shipley, but he's 23 years old playing in his 3rd professional event. You can't you can't really blame him too much. Maybe it's his second. Was the Travelers his? No, I think it's his second actually PGA Tour event. It's his third professional event. So I mean, you can't really go against that guy too much. He is still playing some fun golf, and that'll wrap it up for our second segment, talking about the rest of the leaderboard and superlatives. When I come back from my second break of the night, we'll be talking about Keegan Bradley being named the 2025 U.S. Ryder Cup captain.